a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as a godly parent. I'm Raye from Cabin 12. And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Ethan from Cabin 6.
Boom,
Hi,
boom,
Ethan.
boom.
Welcome.
Hi, Raye. Hi, Charlie. Happy to be back.
We're here. We're doing it. Did we plunge to our deaths?
I think we did.
Yeah, he died, but he's fine.
Insert the clip from Ice Age 3 where it's like, were you killed? Sadly, yes, but I lived.
I only ever saw the first one.
I'll send it to you at some point.
Good.
Cool. Well, we're covering the 4th episode of the show, and
does that mean we're halfway through?
Why does this? It does. This is like technically like the mid-season.
This does not seem like they're far enough into the book for this to be halfway.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rush, and I mean rush.
This episode was also really short compared to the other ones.
I was gonna say, this one, out of all of them, it feels like it's the shortest.
Because it is. It's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
excluding
what?
credits. It's 30 minutes long.
Who decided this was going to be where we stop this episode? I don't get it.
Yeah, editor, whoever edited this episode. Hold on, let me call them out specifically.
I don't know if it's necessarily the editing that's the problem. Like, whoever decided, like, oh no, the script is just going to end right here.
I mean,
like, we're not going to make more script for this episode.
It worked for me. I don't have an issue with where we stopped, but I do think that it's going to be,
Okay.
I'm wondering what all we're going to be able to cover.
Okay, so Rick was part of the writers who did this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jonathan, Joe, Rick, why? Why here? Why now?
Rick wrote this episode?
He's credited with writing it, along with Jonathan Steinberg and Joe Trace.
Okay, maybe Wikipedia is wrong. Wikipedia says that he wrote the next episode.
I'm looking at IMDb, and I don't know how accurate that is, but
I don't know
we are.
Which is more accurate. I don't trust anything.
He might have a writing credit on all of the episodes, given that
he's
He's at least
author.
in the room.
He's certainly a series consultant, so
he's in the room where
as he should be. So I never told y'all why I wanted to be on this specific episode, did I?
No, you didn't.
Yes.
I'd like to know.
Let us know.
I have questions because you were immediately like this one. And I'm like,
it's for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
Because I have family in St. Louis, so I grew up going there quite frequently. As well as this is where I thought Rick's cameo was going to be.
You already missed a couple.
We've had 2 Rick cameos.
Okay, this was
so
before any of the episodes had come out.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I was hoping he would be like a tourist, like on in the scene where they're like lapping water onto Percy, people are walking by. I thought he was gonna be like somewhere in there with like looking at the arch, and it was like, I thought this was closer, and just walk away.
That would have been a beautiful cameo, actually, if they had said in the show, like, oh, I thought there was water, like, right underneath it, huh? Because that's how it is in the book, because he just he jumps into the water because he sees water right there.
Yeah. So either in the book, Percy has, like, really powerful legs, or the arch is right over the water.
I was gonna say, it's an alternate universe.
Yes.
Where
it's
the arch is right over water.
But I think it was Robert who said that they always imagine the water grabbing Percy from the arch and pulling him in.
Which is
it kind of happened.
Which is what happened here.
Yeah, that's clearly what happens here.
Was it a grab? It looked like a water tunnel to me.
I mean,
it's like the ocean in Moana.
Like semantics to me. Like water grab is like water reaching out and it touches him, and then he is in the water.
Big old tentacle. Just
I don't know
him.
why this keeps playing in my head, but like from like Legend of Korra season 1. Shout out to my cabbages. I'm just hearing like a quote from like, "Oh, the water is calling her name," like when Korra's about to fall over the edge.
Oh my god! Yes,
during pro bending. That's what I'm imagining is happening here.
Yes, Korra, our favorite bisexual sporting icon.
Yeah, truly. But okay, I feel like we said it during our last recording, but from those teasers, I really, really thought that when they're pouring the water on him, that was going to be a more comedic moment of them being like, "Oh, you can't get wet. Oh no!" I thought that's what was happening when I saw the previews. I'm like, "We're gonna do that. It's gonna be a funny moment. It's gonna be like chill," and then it really wasn't, and I'm like. Oh
no!
He got very damp and very sad, and
he did.
That's a little sad wet boy.
He's just a baby. He's just a baby.
He is. My God.
He also apparently turned 15 yesterday, which makes me feel very old.
That's such a little guy. I feel bad for him almost being a TV star at 15.
At 15. Wild. I mean, he's been acting since he was like 8, I think.
Damn.
I know he was in, the first thing I saw him in was The Adam Project on Netflix with Ryan Reynolds. And he was like 12 in that. So.
Also good for him out there getting it done.
He is getting it done.
Baby.
Anyway, the episode that we're here to talk about.
We can break down this episode, my dudes.
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta love how, like, it starts and it ends like in a perfect thing. As much as I'm like, it's too short. Okay, we gotta love the whole like, just breathe, just breathe.
Yep.
So starting out in a swimming pool.
Yep.
Does this not give us all PTSD from the movie?
No, I
did not.
Well,
no,
see, because
right.
One, this pool scene from the movie is like actually fine and good, and I'm fine with it. Two, I don't know this. It's a subversion of that scene because Percy does not want to be here.
No, Percy's like, he's wearing a rash guard, which is like something only nerds do at the pool. He doesn't want to let go of the wall.
He's pale.
He is fucking pale. Like that child does not go outside at all.
Blonde boy. Like he's not gonna tan that easily. Come on.
No, he's just a baby. No, he's like hanging onto the wall. He does not want to swim at all.
And then seeing Sally again. Okay, every time we see Sally, I fall in love again. Okay.
No, the particular freeze frame, the freeze frame I have up on my other monitor right now because I'm watching the episode in conjunction with this. It's basically just her face. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That's Sally Jackson.
I think
Virginia
it's very
Cole.
Interesting to me that she is so, like, flawed and human in this show. Mm-hmm. You know, we get to see her be stressed out about being a single parent and having a kid who's sometimes kind of difficult, but also, like, very sweet, and she loves him so much. Anyway.
Like, he's telling her to just breathe, Mom. That's what you always tell me. Because she's stressed, and he's like, it's okay. I'm sorry, I just don't, I
don't want to get in the pool, Mom.
I feel this. I was also that difficult child who did not like the pool.
Oh, I loved the pool.
I did too.
This was the early when I was learning to swim phase, and then I loved it.
Okay,
I got in trouble with lifeguards for staying underwater for too long.
No, my parents were so scared because I would stay underwater for too long, and then come up, just take the biggest breath you've ever seen a child make because, like, I was pretending I was Percy Jackson at the bottom of the pool.
My little sister and I used to have tea parties where you let out all of your air so that you can sink to the bottom so you don't float back up, and then you sit down there for as long as you can and pretend that you're sipping tea at the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that so much.
But also terrifying.
It is a little bit terrifying.
You know, just being a menace, but by having fun at the pool.
It's a general menace to society.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I did not think we would see more baby Percy than we had already gotten in the first episode.
Right,
but
it's very nice to get him back and like show that how fearful Percy feels in this dream sequence that comes next. Kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah, because Kronos comes a calling again.
The fact that we're also seeing him in the dream sequences too, like so much baby Percy, so much baby boy.
Well, it's like making him feel like helpless, like more helpless than he is in like his normal 12-year-old body.
Right.
I want to talk more about this dreamscape.
Sure.
Because we keep seeing this weird, like, sandy, like, dune dreamscape happening here.
Yep.
I'm very interested in what this is. Like,
is that hourglass?
I have a theory.
symbolism?
I have a theory as to why.
Why?
It's because this is a desert where there is no water, so Percy is powerless.
I've heard the hourglass thing because Kronos and time.
Sure.
I feel like another thing could be like somehow it's like the underworld or something. Like I don't know what is.
It doesn't look
what
like
this could
the
be.
glimpses.
I don't think this is the
But that
underworld. To
could
me, it's
be
just
what
a desert.
Tartarus looks like.
It could be Tartarus. Yeah.
Maybe.
That could be interesting.
I don't know. I'm
Though
just
I
like
pictured Tartarus is more
Oh.
cave-like than this, but who knows?
yeah. I
Right.
feel like it's more open air than I would imagine Tartarus.
Yeah.
But
You haven't watched Sinbad because we never got to that yet. But that's what
As in Sinbad with
Legend
Eris.
of the Seven Seas. With,
With our
DreamWorks.
favorite gods of destruction and chaos.
Goddess
we
of
love her.
Discord. Anyways, Eris has a pocket dimension that is also like shifting sand. And so I guess it reminds me of that, and that's why I think it could be Tartarus.
Maybe.
Anyways,
I
not
have questions
relevant,
about
but
this Eris still. I'm very intrigued.
Have you seen pictures of her?
I've seen pictures, but I'm just
Okay,
like
good.
I want to know what the hell is happening in this movie because it seems more like it's the Odyssey.
it is not the
yes,
Odyssey. I realized recently,
kind of.
someone, oh god, I don't remember what the story is, but they take a story. This is not relevant to this episode at all, and I can't remember the two guys, but they, one of the guys is going to be executed in space of his friend if his friend doesn't come back, and it's like it's a mythology story that I did not know it was actually based on, but that's what happens.
I definitely know what you're talking about, but I've forgotten everyone's name.
No, I can't remember either of their names, or else I would look it up for you.
That's what the Sinbad movie is based on.
Yes. I'll Google it. You guys keep talking about Percy Jackson. I'll see if I can figure this out.
Also, I'm looking at the freeze frame before he falls into like the sand pit here. He has crabs on his swimming trunks, which I find very funny.
As he should. Okay.
It's adorable.
It's a red swimming suit with navy crabs on it.
Oh, okay, here it is. There's the story of Damon and
Pythias. Yes.
Pythias? Yeah.
Which also takes place in Syracuse, which is where the Sinbad film takes place.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's clearly that story. Anyways, this is not relevant.
Nope.
Moving
Okay.
on.
I just needed to
Percy
know.
Jackson. Alright, so, moving on from the dream, he wakes up. We're on the train. Guys, we're on a train.
Yep. We are on a train.
Finally. I don't know how I imagined them sleeping on a train. Honestly, I've never slept, like, in one of these cabins on a train, so I don't know what they look like inside.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I've never been on a train.
Yeah, me neither.
Y'all.
The United States is a bad place.
Fake
For
train
public
fans.
transportation and many other things, yes.
I live in the Midwest. What do you want from me?
Wait, you live in the Midwest? I thought you lived in the mountains.
Oh, well, the geography
Yes?
of the United States is dumb.
It is dumb.
I
Half
would
of the
not.
US is
I live in
mountains.
South Dakota. We don't actually have mountains here. We have hills. So, like, I don't know what you call that.
I live in Kansas. We have basically nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the flat states.
I guess I just call all of the United States that isn't on the coast the Midwest, or
That's
like
fair.
South. There's like South, Midwest, and the coasts, and that's it in my brain. I know that there are
Honestly,
technically
that's
more,
not
but
totally wrong.
It's not. It's close. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm just here. I exist.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
vibing.
I'm glad you are. Well, they're sleeping on this train, and per Percy, we start getting some Annabeth backstory. But first, like,
Mhm.
are you awake? Or wait, no, he asks, "Are you asleep?" And Annabeth says,
No.
"Yes."
Yes.
She says, "Yes, I am asleep."
Yep, obviously.
I love her sass.
We love the sass.
But he starts asking about Thalia, and like what she was like, and how Annabeth's kind of models her personality after Talia a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You know, you gotta earn her respect and trust before she'll let you in. But she does let him in a little bit.
Yeah,
tells her trauma. We have a trauma dump.
Well,
like all neurospicy people do.
Yes. I love Percy pointing out this transactional nature of these relationships.
Yes.
And and Percy complaining about their families and the gods, but Annabeth saying, hey, the whole world is like that. That feels very like Rick Riordan to me. That feeling that, you know, sometimes the world is kind of cruel.
Yeah. And then like,
honestly, it's true.
Having read later books in the series where we do meet Annabeth's dad, this is not doing a great job of setting him up as the person that he actually is. Like in later books.
That's how she envisions him too in the beginning. This is how this is honestly pretty much how she describes him in the book too. It's like, fair. Like I thought he loved me, and then like I got a stepmom, and I got some stepbrothers, and they all hated me because I was a problem. We
had a very long conversation about that, about like when we meet Annabeth's father. How that changes your perception of him, and how like that changes your perception of how Annabeth views him, and like how her trauma is valid and her feelings toward him are valid, but also like it's not a crime for her to like forgive him and let him back into her life. Anyways, that's a whole thing.
The big gist of that is just that like neither side of the story is completely right or completely wrong. Everybody was very emotional.
Yes.
And like said some bad things and did some wrong things. No one was in the right. Annabeth was a child, and they probably said some things that they didn't mean to say, and it still hurt her.
Well, I hope they
and they're trying to do better in the future.
All right. God, I'm really excited to see him in the show. Season 3. I hope he's so hot. Anyways, moving on.
He better be.
Frederick Chase is going to be prime DILF material. I'm telling you right
he
now.
Has to be. How could he not be?
Sally is a MILF. Frederick Chase has to be a DILF. Okay.
Okay. So I find it interesting that in episode 2 we set up this idea of like glory, and then Percy like searching for that. And then here he starts subverting that idea. He's like, I actually don't like that. I don't like the idea that I have to do something to be recognized. Like the fact that they tried to make me do that was fucked up. And so I like that. And then more Annabeth autism moments of being like,
she is so autistic.
Yes.
We love
the whole world is like that. But with the gods, I understand the rules. They are set out for me, and I get it. And that's why I like them. Annabeth, we love that for you. You love social scripts.
Yeah.
I love her, guys.
Annabeth is so me-coded. I love it so much.
Hell yeah.
So much.
I see Annabeth, I'm like, yeah, Ethan.
I did relate more to Annabeth growing up than Percy at some points.
Interesting.
You're also an Athena kid.
Correct. But I didn't know that until I finished the book. I'm going to drop a fan cast of Frederick Chase real quick in our little group chat.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Look at this man. Look at this man.
Oh.
Look at him. Look at him.
Oh, but we got to put we got to put glasses and an aviator cap on him, and then he's going to look like nerdy DILF.
Yeah.
You know?
But like, look at this man smile. Look at this man smile. Like,
it's a beautiful smile. Tell the audience and me this man's name. I don't know him.
Who's this actor?
His name is Taye Diggs. I looked up black actors in their 40s because I thought that would be the most believable demographic for this. So let's see, what's he been in? He's been in a lot of stuff. So he was in Chicago, the movie musical adaptation of Chicago, as well as Rent. That's what he's known for anyway. He's done a lot of like TV show stuff, which makes sense.
So we can get him, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. That's why this is the most likely casting for this man.
If you call this, we're going to be so fucking impressed in like years when season 3 comes out.
We'll be so happy.
I would love it if that was the case.
I would be so intrigued. Okay. So, Also, Grover is here, and he's upset because they woke him up. He needs sleep. This boy needs sleep.
Our baby boy needs sleep. Our babysitter boy needs
also
sleep.
snacks.
I mentioned I love Grover. I love this boy.
He's very good.
He's such a good
I'm
boy.
enjoying that we are still getting some of his like comedic levity moments as a character.
And in the next scene, as we get up, we have some breakfast. We see centaurs, wild centaurs.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Hey, look, that's a moment from the book.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And we get the Pan spiel. We talk about Pan. I was wondering when this was going to occur.
But Grover has not established himself as a seeker yet at this point, right? In the book.
He didn't say that, but we do get that like Ferdinand was one. So like maybe
Yes, we do get that.
It's not like a bad jump from there.
No.
Just be like, later on, Percy will be like, "You want to be one too, don't you?"
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and Percy misinterprets the prophecy, and Annabeth's like, "No. She didn't say it would fail. Fail to say what matters most, and the end could be a lot of things."
Look at the second line of the prophecy. You will find what you seek. You will find it.
Yeah.
Yes, but like me, Percy attaches focuses his attention on the worst possible part of any given situation.
True.
So,
and see, to me, I, as him, would assume that means I'm not going to save my mom, because that's the most important thing to him. Like,
that's valid.
I would make that assumption, and I feel, does Book Percy make that assumption? I don't remember if he does or not. But I think that it's interesting that Percy does interpret the prophecy this way here.
I do not think he thinks that, because our lovely Book Percy is still a little dumb, but we love him. He's a
himbo. He's a himbo, and we love him for it.
He's truly a himbo. Okay, leave him alone.
Mm-hmm. He's the baby.
He's just a baby.
Okay, and then a fucking cop shows up. A cab.
Okay, but
we finally get fugitive Percy. When I saw this man, I was like, Charlie has been vindicated once again. We finally have fugitive Percy.
No, we don't even fully have fugitive. We don't have the Gabe making him a fugitive thing yet. We have this,
right? But this could
instance.
Be the setup for that. So we'll see.
Yes,
true.
Yes.
We'll see if it becomes more of a thing, if Gabe adds on to that, or if it is just like this incident on the train makes him a fugitive, this incident at the Arch makes him a fugitive. But I hate that this is his role in the series, but Raye, I immediately clocked this actor as soon as I saw who it was.
Yeah, tell me who this man is.
This is Alessandro Giuliani.
Oh my god! I didn't even notice.
Did you?
I should have known.
Did you not? I sent it to our group chat.
Yes, I remember that now, but I didn't clock him. Even like having heard that. Like,
who is this man? Somebody could tell me who this man is.
I'm so sorry.
Have you ever seen a Barbie movie?
Yes.
Barbie movie.
Wait, the animated Barbie movies. Yes,
I've seen a couple of them.
Okay.
The CGI Barbie movies.
So
yes.
Alessandro Giuliani is in quite a few. He's in at least like 5.
He's like usually the prince of like any given Barbie movie. If there's a singing prince, it's often him.
Yes. He is Julian in Barbie Princess and the Pauper.
Okay, I have seen that one, and I know who you're talking about.
Good.
He's I think he's also like Prince Napu. He's the Island Princess Prince. Mm-hmm. Like he's so many of them.
This is an iconic man. Like
he's just the Barbie Prince. That's who this man is.
Have I ever told you when I found out what his face looked like? It was when I was watching Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, because he's also in that show.
I did. Maybe you mentioned that to me.
You sound familiar. Like, where do I know you from? And then I'm like, what the fuck? What? Really?
I can't wait to rewatch this episode, actually, so that I can hear him.
Buck wild.
It's so funny.
Again, we're just proving that Percy Jackson needs a musical episode. Like, even the guest stars.
God.
Arian can sing. Like, come on.
Arian can sing. That's true.
And then we got Lynn. Like,
Lynn, yeah.
Come on. We're gonna have a musical episode at some point. I think Rick has said this at some point that he wants to have a musical.
I think it's episode 6 that's going to be the musical episode, if I remember correctly.
I mean, that's the theory. That's the theory. That, right. Like, the 6th one, when Lynn is at the Lotus Hotel and Casino, that we possibly will either get a musical number or a musical episode.
If they
Maybe
don't
it's
include
just a
Poker
number.
Face, I will punch my pillow so hard.
I think what they need to do is they need to just have Lynn singing Poker Face as we come in.
Yes!
Like that is the goal.
Yeah.
And if
So-
that happens, I will cry.
So if he's like drunk off his ass at the karaoke bar singing Poker Face, that's what you want?
I was imagining just like humming it under his breath while he's playing poker.
Oh, I was imagining him
okay.
doing like a full like Hollywood number.
Yeah, no,
Like-
I was imagining like when he was in the elevator last time.
Okay,
True,
okay.
true.
So like he's looking at his
We
cards
have a
just humming.
spectrum of
How would you
poker
hum
faces here.
Poker Face? How would you hum that? At least the beginning. It's not really a hummable thing.
God.
Like,
Okay.
All right. So Barbie Prince comes and asks them for their tickets.
Yes.
how dare
And
he
is
be a
like, y'all in this completely destroyed cabin?
Yep.
Yeah, I did not like how he talked to Annabeth. That made me very mad.
No.
No,
I did
and,
like
like-
how fucking mad Annabeth got. Like, tell him
No,
off, girl.
she has every right to be mad because
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
So
I was like, oh, you just got profiled. Like, yeah,
yeah, that's
Tell him off.
exactly what I thought.
tell him
like
off.
because like I have black siblings and like there's always like a disconnect between black people and people with authority because of like how bad they've been treated by people in power. So Annabeth is automatically like, all right, this dude's on site. I want nothing to do with him at all.
And then the next scene, she's like, I don't think he's a monster. Specifically about mythological monsters.
Yes,
But
mythological
it's still-
monsters, sure.
still
Humans monster,
interesting.
definitely on the table.
So
I
we're trying to
love
figure
how
out who the
Percy-
monster is. Because
I
there's
love
gotta be
how-
one here.
Percy gets how this works now, and he's like, that guy's like a werewolf or something, right? Like, that's so funny to me.
I love that he's like a werewolf immediately. Like,
Hey,
Percy thinks
this
he's in
is-
Twilight.
hey, wouldn't you like?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Well, and
I
we
mean,
also
okay.
like when they're still like discussing the whole like cabin being torn apart thing. We also get a little bit of commentary on the police believing white women over black people, just in general, because
Okay.
Echidna's there giving her her
Echidna.
statement. Yes,
This
Echidna?
actress.
She's a Karen. She is
She
a
is.
Karen.
100%, 110%. Yes.
And I don't know, the vibe isn't even exactly Karen to me because she talks to them more than she talks to, like, the police. Like, she's not, like, complaining about them. It's, like, this, like, very uncomfortable wasp mom. Like,
Yeah.
who's, like, pushing herself in your business because she feels like she belongs in your business. Yeah,
I
it's...
see an old
Mhm.
white lady who's like, saying that I did something wrong when I did nothing. That's a Karen to me, personally.
Yeah. It's not just
but
people
anyway,
who ask for the manager at a grocery store or a restaurant or wherever.
It's not just. There's all sorts of Karens.
yeah,
But she's, you know what? Old white ladies could be scary. That's what this episode is saying to us.
I mean, the Furies are proof enough of that.
True, but like they're not quite the same.
Yes,
Not exactly.
She has white Anglo-Saxon Protestant vibes. Like, I am
She
not
does.
kidding. Like,
No,
Like
I
the
went to
Furies?
church with women like her. I know exactly who this woman is.
Yes. No, though that's the vibe of her. But the Furies are just like the evil teacher vibe. Like there's a different old lady vibe here.
Mhm,
And-
mhm.
Yeah.
and so, like, to get into her character a little bit, her framing herself as, like, the good mom as opposed to the gods who are bad parents is, like, such a
Yeah.
fascinating way to do this.
It is.
Right?
Well, and she's like, that's what a good mother does for her children, not that you would know. And she looks at Annabeth when she says that.
Right?
Which, like,
Okay.
ooh. that got under Annabeth's skin so fucking hard.
Yeah. Don't we love how much this show is playing with like monsters versus like not a monster and all of that? Like we get more of that with Echidna, and they're doing it so good. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying how are we supposed to be sympathetic to them? Are we not? Like we're supposed to be sympathetic to the demigods, but like
Yep.
the gods are terrible. Like the monsters are terrible. Everyone's terrible. This world sucks. Like
And it's
Yep.
full of children who don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Just like the
It's
real
me.
world.
I'm a child who doesn't know what I'm doing.
So she's playing herself as completely friendly until they find her out. And then she's still like doing this, like smiling at them. And like she is so unsettling. This actress does such an incredible job.
Suzanne Cryer is her name, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
I love her so much better than the book. So much better.
Yes.
A million bajillion times better.
100%. Like, a lot of the changes they've made to the show, I actually don't mind that they've made.
Exactly.
Because in this instance, it actually helps. Because, like, in the book, she was only at the Arch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's the only place we saw her.
What have we done so far with all the characters in the show? We're giving them more to do. We're getting rid of, like, terrible stereotypes, like, terrible, like, racism, and, like, all of these things. We're adding depth. And we're getting things that are, like, in the vein of the world of Percy Jackson, even if they're not exactly what's on the page. Right?
And we're adding these moments of interconnectivity that, like, I think are working out really well for them. What else was I going to say about her?
I'd like to say... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, to go back to the performance for 1 second, when she is talking about her little dog and her little carrier, and she says, "You will be her prey," and she does like the little nod and the eyebrow raise. Holy shit! Like that moment. Anyways,
okay, every time she was talking to the dog, I was like so confused on how the mist was working in this scene. One, we still don't exactly know if that's what she looks like or she's a monster, like what have you there.
It's unclear. It's
Yeah.
unclear.
I think this is the only episode she's in, but I'm not sure.
But
But
I would guess that it is.
I thought, I'm like, is she talking to like the dog's, or not the dog, but like the chimera's paw or something? Like this entire time, and then it hit me. I'm like,
I think this.
Oh, the bag is magic. Like
it's bigger on the inside, bro.
Like it is a magic TARDIS space.
Just like the wheelchair for Brunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a bag of holding in D&D. That's essentially what this is.
Yeah, this is the dog bag of holding. Like,
well, and like whenever you see the bag like shaking, I'm imagining like some dude in a green morph suit just shaking the shit out of this bag, just sitting behind it.
Amazing.
Oh, in my notes, I have also added that we have to gloat because from the trailers, we 100% figured out that there was going to be a chimera scene on a train.
Yep.
Like, we mentioned that. I was pretty proud of us.
We were like, it's on the arch, but it's also on the train. Like, what's happening? There's so much here.
We're like, what's this train doing here?
Well, we don't see the chimera on the train in its entirety.
We do not. We do see a little dog walk by you. It's so funny.
Yes, we do. I mean, first we also get Percy being stabbed, and then they run away.
Yes,
and the dog.
And
is chasing them.
Did you see Rick post about him with the dog?
No. Oh my god.
Her name is Baby, and she's a Chihuahua, and we love her.
As she should be. As she should be. She's a Chihuahua because it sounds like Chimera, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, they escape. They get off the train. Percy's like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Also, this was a
go?
great way to save on like makeup or special effects by just having it be a stinger that broke off instead of just like a giant hole in Walker Scobell's arm.
Yeah.
Also, so I don't know how familiar you all with like the ecology of insects and stuff or things like that.
Are you talking about like bee stingers and how those break off?
No, I'm going a different route with this. So a chimera is supposed to be part scorpion, right? If I remember correctly. Baby scorpions are the most dangerous because they cannot control how much venom they put out.
Oh, interesting.
So when Echidna said this is a pup, I was like, oh no, this could be very bad.
So I was gonna wait till we like fully see it to get into like what the chimera is.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm very interested in all of that.
We can go into more detail with that when we get to the arch.
It's not like a scorpion. The scorpion, that's the manticore. The manticore has the scorpion parts.
That's right. I mixed some stuff up.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That is a very interesting way of their doing that. But like when we get
chimera's snake, I forgot.
It is.
Oh, it's a snake. It's not a
lion,
scorpion.
goat, snake. I'm I also want to say I'm very happy that we changed the pronouns of the Chimera, because that's
her?
yes, because Chimera means she-goat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So that's her pronouns, she and her. But I just love the fact that, like, instead of, like, the monstrosity that it is in mythology, it's, like, the body of a lion, and then the tail becomes, like, a snake head, and then there's just a goat head in the back, in its back.
Yeah,
like,
right.
We combine all these things a little bit differently. It's a lion.
Yeah.
I can't remember, did it have hooves or not? But there's, like, still
at least
goat
the front part was paws. I know that.
Yeah. There were still, like goat
it
horns.
has scales instead of fur to bring in the snake part.
And it doesn't look particularly snake-like.
It has the hood. It has the hood.
Yes.
The hood, I screamed.
Yeah,
when
that's
I
so cool.
that, I was like, bro, this is so fucking awesome. Like that's a way to do the snake part that I was not expecting, and I'm into it.
Yeah, props to the visual effects artists who made that. Like
this is their pride and joy of the show. They were like so excited to make the Chimera.
Oh, good.
And I'm so happy.
Well, and like so they're walking around trying to find like a safe place, right? Because Percy's like poisoning and dying. And
well, they also have to hide from her because like she's the most terrifying monster ever, and her baby, whatever.
And this does not look like downtown St. Louis. I will tell you that right now. It is way too clean to be downtown St. Louis. This is the backlot of like the Disney studio in LA or wherever they shot this. Probably Georgia because of stuff. Anyway, just telling you, they may have shot the arch on location. Those scenes of them walking around before the arch, probably not.
That's fine. That happens. But like, Annabeth's like, oh, thankfully there's the temple like right here in St. Louis. Didn't you know? And then we see like the image of the arch in the puddle, and it's like, oh my god, we're gonna go there. It's gonna be great. And then like the tism.
Yes,
here.
You called that we're gonna get an architecture info dump. Like, I'm so glad.
I was like, she's
and like
gonna
some
be
of these
like,
lines were like straight from the book, I think.
Yup.
Legit. Like, she's not gonna be like a super talkative person most of the time, and then she's gonna be like an info dump, and we're gonna see a different side of her. Was I wrong? No. She doesn't even say like, yeah, it's because I really want to be an architect. I really like architecture. She's just like, this is my special interest. I'm just gonna keep talking about it until you like, change the subject or like ignore me.
So the arch being an actual temple to Athena is show original content, right?
That is show original as far as I'm aware.
That is very interesting, and like what that allows them to do is like tie it back into like these issues with their parents.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting plot they're going with here.
It is, yes. Because tying it back into that, which also ties back into episode 3, where they shipped off Medusa's head to Olympus.
Yes, bringing that moment back again.
Yeah. And then, well, like, I even said this when I was watching the episode for the first time, because, like, they were talking about how, like, Annabeth was impertinent and embarrassed her mom, and I was like, no, she didn't do that, Percy did. And then Percy was like, I did that, not you. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for owning up to that, sir.
Yeah, like, it's his name on it. It shouldn't be about her, but
she's part of the quest party, so...
But literally, you know what this is doing? You know what all this is doing? What did Medusa say? That she devoted herself to Athena. She loved Athena. She did everything for Athena, received, like, nothing in return. And then Poseidon is like, hey, you're pretty cool. Athena thinks that she was embarrassed by this. Like, it's a mirror. We have mirrored what is happening here. And okay, do we like what this is all saying about Athena and Poseidon though? Like,
yeah, I don't know where they're trying to go with this, because they're painting the gods not very good, like, on principle.
They're also doing something else here. They're painting like Athena as like evil mom.
And also like she has a very fragile ego.
Right.
Yeah, which is
Athena in this episode abandons her daughter because she was embarrassed by her, whereas Poseidon tells Percy through a proxy that he cares about him so much and wishes he could help him. It's
okay, we'll get to that, because I have many more thoughts about that.
Is this misogyny?
Maybe.
It's
don't know.
it's not a good look when you're comparing the mom to the dad.
It's really not.
But like, again, one of them is our main character's parent, and the other one is like our other character's parent. Like,
Okay, Annabeth is still
we
a
have
lead.
to like the main character's parents.
Okay,
We're
Annabeth's
supposed
still a
to be,
lead.
like-
She's not the main character, but she's got plot
she's still a
armor,
lead.
right?
She's got plot armor. But
And
I do feel like we're supposed to like Poseidon, even if last episode I'm like, what did you do to Medusa? Did you actually? Did you?
I'm telling you, the answer is no.
I'm still not sure.
I really thought it was based on the language she used, it did not seem very consensual at all.
She did use some very coded language, but I think that she used that language in order to emphasize how she felt used. We can't get into this again. We talked about it so much last episode.
Sorry. I just had thoughts about that.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because it is very interesting, but there's no fucking way that they're going to say that Poseidon raped someone. Absolutely not.
No.
Because, again, that is your main character's dad. You're supposed to like him.
And, well, I mean, Rick Riordan has written some pretty shit dads before.
That's
for
true.
main characters. We read Big Red Tequila, that was sure something. But,
True enough.
So
I have not read any of the novels of Rick's written for adults, so...
Yeah.
We read one.
And so,
oh boy,
I don't know. I see where you're coming with, like, the idea of, like, it could be misogynistic, but I do not see it that way, because these are stories about different, like, parental figures and, like, how those affect you and, like,
yeah.
This is a criticism that I've heard from other people saying, and I'm just like, I don't not see what you're saying. But I'm also just like, what is happening?
Athena and Annabeth's relationship has always been really interesting, especially because Athena does seem to favor Annabeth so much. But I could see her saying, hey, if you make a mistake, you get punished. You know, she's the goddess of wisdom and logic, and, you know, her being very strict kind of follows to me.
It follows from her mythology as well. Like, ultimately, that is how Athena is, and Poseidon just is kind of a go with the flow, I do what I want kind of dude.
Well, I mean, he is the god of the sea, that's what water does, so...
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And I'm also assuming that we're going to get more complex looks at Athena as the show goes on. I'm not sure if it'll be this season, but, you know.
We haven't even gotten the casting for Athena, so I'm wondering if she's even in this season at all. So
if she is, that would be fucking wild.
Yeah. So because we have no idea.
We may like get a silent cameo from her at the end of the season when they're returning the bolt to Olympus, but
only Zeus and Poseidon are Olympus during that scene.
Yeah,
it's a movie memory. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So if I do, okay. So going back to like where we're at in the show, they've entered there, and Percy's just like, oh, what if your mom is, like, here? That feels like a callback to Titan's Curse, when she's literally just, like, at the dam. To me, I was just like, oh, like, remember? Like, she does just hang out at, like, monuments and places that she likes.
I literally forgot
about
that. Athena, like her offspring, is a nerd, and we love that for her.
And, like, having read, the comic book versions of the Iliad and the Odyssey recently, Athena does just, like, show up as, like, some guy a lot of the time. She's like, hey, bestie. So, like, that is in character for her.
Honestly, do we not love how often Athena cross-dresses in mythology, actually? Like, the amount of times that she disguises herself as, like, some old dude, often. It's so often.
It's true.
I kind of love it.
Okay, so, Percy's dying. They put him in a fountain. It does not work. Yeah, then we go to under the arch.
Did you forget Percy and his little sarcasm moment? Oh, I'm just coming off to the potty. Like he's
like just doing an impression of Mrs. Doubtfire, because apparently that's what Athena sounds like to him, which is also very neurospicy because I do that. I do accents and, like, you know,
we're little
people,
accents.
things like that. Yes.
and impressions. Also, Grover is upset because Western civilization is here. Hey, we're not talking about it, but it is here, and Grover's upset by it. And Annabeth's just like, we're not getting into this. It's for Athena. That's what the humans want it to be. Okay.
It was fine when they just showed the buffalo, but then they showed like a Manifest Destiny exhibit thing, and then Percy says Grover doesn't like it when bad things happen to animals, and that feels like indigenous people's erasure. But
it's because literally, like, behind him, I think as he's saying that is like there's a headdress. It feels
the optics in that particular scene are a little bad, and they probably should have thought that through a little bit more.
Teensy bit.
Like, I get it. That is like probably what's there. I've never been there, but not great.
No, I'm not saying that they should have done it. I'm just saying like the writing has a flaw in it, in that it ignores indigenous people and their suffering.
You could say that Grover doesn't like it when like people like you know, the underdog is hurt, or some other form of phrase that says he doesn't like it when people are persecuted, others are persecuted, or something. Like
they're going for an environmentalism angle, which is like
valid given Grover,
and that is like Grover's thing, and so it wouldn't really make sense to.
The thing about indigenous people, from what I've researched, is that they did their absolute best to care about the environment, so I feel like Grover would be on their side.
And I was wondering if like we were going to like bring up like indigenous history with Grover, if like I just feel like that all could have been handled a lot more sensitively, because it feels like you are not only like maybe equating indigenous people with animals, but like putting their suffering below the suffering of animals, which like, oof, ouch, bad.
We don't like that.
I see what they were going for in this scene. It did not work out.
No. I love Arian, but you know what would have been interesting is if they had cast like a native actor.
Yes, actually. I was just thinking that. Yes.
Yeah. Huh.
That would have been
that would have been cool. Anyway.
So
that scene didn't work.
We can unpack all of that. But yeah, so Percy's dying a little bit. He almost calls Annabeth his friend.
And then I was like,
and then he like
this such a cute bonding moment.
And then he swoons into her arms. And the water scene, he's dying. He's not doing so hot. But you know, the scary white lady's coming.
She is so intimidating. It's just like walking slowly towards it.
Yeah, like all she's doing is walking, but the music is doing so much for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So we gotta go up there. And again, I don't remember how I talked about this with Taylor, but I don't remember these elevators. I've never seen
these elevators at the St. Louis Arch are so small. Like
I've never seen this.
You can
I didn't know what they look like.
4 people into there comfortably, barely, because like
those are tubes.
Those are like the future wall. Like it's wild.
They are like.
This looks like something from like a spy movie. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. Like you're going into your secret headquarters.
Yeah, that is what the elevators in the St. Louis Arch look like.
That's wild.
It's truly. So we go up there, and
so Annabeth is not getting along with Percy anymore because they have a little like not the most happy time learning that Athena is not happy with them and is not going to help them.
Mm-hmm. We also get a little shot as the elevator door is closing of the Chimera's shadow coming from behind Echidna, and I was like, oh boy.
We did also finally talk about the fact that the monsters can talk to you in your brain. Like we're finally mentioning that like out loud.
Yes.
We've seen it happen like with Mrs. Dodds. So it's like a thing. Like when they're hunting you, I guess they can speak to you in your mind.
These monsters in the show are very psychological. They are sniffing out your fear, and they are invading your brain space.
Yes, they made it very clear they are not bees.
Every time someone says that, I'm just gonna be like, no, it's not fear, that's bees. I love Arian.
Okay.
Yeah, and they definitely shot on location for this because that's what the top of the arch looks like.
Nice.
It's
It's
very
not very big up
cool.
there.
No, it's tiny.
And like the fact that Rick said Percy jumped through a window, how?
like they also had to like retcon that a little bit and be like, oh no, just like the bottom
and make it come out of the floor, which makes sense because there's no way a person's fitting through that tiny window.
I guess I always assumed that the side blasted open, like we had the floor blast open in the show. But
okay.
Yeah, so it's not gonna work. They can't pray to her. Annabeth's like, you know what? You guys go. I'll stay here. I'll stay behind. She's trying to pull Thalia. It's not gonna work. And I was like, how are we gonna do this? Like they're on the wrong side. Percy is like outside and Annabeth's there, but I saw in the preview that he's gonna be closing the door on them. And then what does he do? This boy is dexterous. Okay? He did it. Show me. He is a dexy boy. And
he is.
He just does a little like, oh, and he swaps with Annabeth and
does a little bait and switch.
It's such a good, like, you're like, is he giving Annabeth his sword? Like, that would be so cool as, like, a book reader to see Annabeth holding Anaglusmos, but, and then he pulls that little switch moment. It's so good.
It's like, our selfless boy.
Okay, and can we talk about how absolutely haggard he looks?
In
this?
They made my boy pale. Like,
the bags under his eyes, how pale he is. The color's, like, gone from his face.
I think I mentioned, like, this was gonna be, like, his hero moment, his scene.
Yeah.
He tried to be a hero. Of course, he's not gonna defeat the monster because that's not what happens.
No,
but,
that's
like,
not what happens.
He still saves his friends. And, you know?
So, when we were doing our, like, summary review of book 1, I really pointed out this moment as, like, the moment that got me back into Percy Jackson, like, doing my reread. Because, something about, like, the sacrificial, like, almost suicidal tendencies of Percy Jackson and, like, how sad that makes me, but, like, how much it makes me love him too. This moment was so important to me. And it's interesting to me that they have changed, like, the circumstance almost completely, because in the book, he was sacrificing himself by jumping in order to get the fight away from, like, random civilians. In this, Percy's sacrifice is saving his friends by locking them out and going to the fight himself. And so, like, even with all those changes, they have still kept that moment of, like, character development almost exactly the same. And I think that is really, really shows off how good of an adaptation this is.
No, I definitely agree with you, Raye. They've kept the spirit of the book alive, but not the letter, if that makes sense. Like, it's not a word for word, like, recreation, but the idea and what this scene is supposed to accomplish is still happening.
We're keeping the spirit. We're modernizing it a little bit. We're adapting it for the screen. Like, there's so much that goes into making
We're adding in more interconnectivity and more, like, themes and character for the monsters.
If we actually did this shit word for word, would it be interesting to anybody?
Yes, but
some people.
But like in the same way, would we still be talking about it like, oh my god, like this,
right?
And we finally get our money shot of the Chimera.
Yes,
it's not what I expected at all.
I love her,
but in a very good way.
That's my baby. I want one.
It's like you said, Charlie, like, I grew up with a depiction of, like, it's mostly lion with, like, a goat head spraying out of its back and a snake for a tail. This is so much cooler than any of those that I grew up with. Because, like, the coloration, it looks almost like a Gila monster. Have you seen those?
Yeah!
Those little lizards? And, like, it's got the goat horns, it's got...
And it has the ridged tail. That's why it doesn't seem very snake-like to me. It looks more like some kind of lizard with, like, a frill.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was the Gila monster. The Gila monster doesn't have a frill, but, like,
yeah, I mean, what they were trying to do is trying to make something that they could CGI a lot easier than, like, what it is, or
but
what
it's
even
also
Rick wrote.
a reinterpretation that makes it. It's the same as we've been talking about as like an adaptation of a book. As an adaptation of a mythological monster, they have changed things in a way that almost makes more sense and also works better for their visual medium. And it all, it's just good adaptational choices all around.
Yes.
We love it. We love to see it.
We love it. And also, Echidna just rips a hole in the floor just with a swish of her fingers.
Just don't worry about it. She's mad.
Good lord.
Don't worry about it.
I was
terrified
by like what happens there in that scene.
It was just more of like an oh shit moment. Like this woman can rip through metal whenever she wants to.
Yes, she can.
That's how she got on the train in the first place. So
yeah.
Honestly, I believe it. And then Percy is he's dying, and then he falls.
Yep.
And oh no, he's gonna hit the pavement. He just like goes in a water slide, and then he's like in nothing. Like he's in water. And then his foot stuck. And then we get the narrate, but like we don't see her really yet. I was like, I wonder who's playing the narrate. Like, are we still gonna get the whole like, oh, she looks like Sally like vibe?
No.
There was a solid 5 minutes where I'm just like, I don't know who has been cast here because we don't see her. Mm-hmm. What if they
not
just have
really
playing the narrate?
I'm kind of assuming, I don't know. I'm wondering if we're going to get an actress's like full body be cast for it and see that in the scene.
She has been cast.
Episode.
She is going to be in things, but I don't know if we're going to like see her.
Right. Or I'm wondering if this visual is just the visual of the narrate, because it's like a little like water, like almost like jellyfish kind of guy, but it's not. I don't remember.
That's the vibe I got is a jellyfish, but
yeah.
But yeah, I do like that they didn't make her just look like a mermaid.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought they were gonna do. And I'm glad they didn't. So I think that the next episode is going to begin with the narrator talking to Percy and giving him the pearls so they can escape.
Yeah, and then we're okay. I already know, but we're gonna get the Annabeth Percy hug in next episode where she's like, "I'm so glad you're not dead." Basically, like, I'm gonna cry. Do we want to predict what the fuck is happening in this preview?
All right,
I didn't watch it because I was watching this just before this recording.
Okay. We can always watch the preview because there's things happening. I mean, we've already talked about like some of it before, me and you, Raye.
So in this preview, this is the Waterland episode.
Yeah, it is the Waterland episode. A god buys us cheeseburgers. Mm-hmm. We do get like one shot of Ares at the end there. But there's like there's the shield of the boar.
We get the fates. The fates are finally here.
We finally okay. This was such a good choice. I was like, when are we gonna put the fates? If we're not putting them early on, I feel like we need to put them later on. I thought we might be getting them in like the finale episode after like Percy's and Luke's encounter. I thought that would maybe be a good ending to the show potentially. But I'm interested to be. They're here.
Right.
Also works.
We're interacting with a god next episode, so that kind of makes sense to me to like have like these huge like powers converging on them.
Mm-hmm. We also get Percy in some sort of golden chair. I don't remember that in the book.
No. So we've been
there's peacock feathers on this chair. This is from Hera.
Oh, I get it. No, wait. Okay. It's not from Hera.
There's peacock feathers on this chair, Charlie.
It is a Hephaestus thing.
Okay, I knew that, but like
Hephaestus made a throne for Hera that she sits down in and gets trapped in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's what this item is. Because remember, this is all a Hephaestus trap for Ares and Aphrodite. So recycle some
just
other
like stored
Hephaestus
this chair
things.
down there. Yeah.
Okay.
To recycle some Hephaestus things totally works for me.
Sure.
Like,
why not?
So we got Tunnel of Love, we got Waterlands.
We get Ares putting them in the back of the truck with the animals, and that's really all we get.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this. But Disney, you have Percy Jackson. Make my Waterland. Make it. Do it.
You just like a park in Disney World is what you mean.
Redo your water park to be Percy Jackson. Do it.
That'd be
really
funny.
hypnotizing
he
you,
is,
Disney.
He is water themed. Like it's right there.
Water themed.
Yeah.
Make me Waterland. Do it.
If only they didn't just convert that one ride into one for Tiana. Which makes sense.
No. That one is perfect. What I'm saying is redo one of the water parks that they already have and just entirely make it Percy Jackson. They already have water parks.
I thought you meant a water ride in Disney World proper.
No, I don't think we've actually been to the water parks, me and my family, but they are things. They do exist. Make one of them Percy Jackson. I know one of them is Blizzard Beach, and then the other one is.
Let's see.
I can't remember things because, like I said, I don't think we've actually been to them per se. We're not water park people.
Let's see. There's Typhoon Lagoon that's currently unavailable. There's Blizzard Beach. That seems a little weird to me.
I think there might be more, but
those are the only ones I can see.
Okay, but again, Percy Jackson Water Park. Do it. It's right there. You have Percy now.
Oh, Adventure Island. That's the one you're thinking of, Charlie.
Percy Jackson things. Anyway.
Yes.
Disney, you have the money. You have the funds. Do it. Thank you and good night. Yeah, so that's the episode, guys. Are we excited? Are we happy? Are we enjoying ourselves?
Yes.
I am. The only thing I didn't like about this episode was how short it was.
Yeah.
And I honestly am glad that, like, streaming TV lets episodes be as long as they need to be to tell their story. I don't mind this at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted it to have more stuff in it.
I know.
Just want more, okay? Not enough Percy Jackson. Not enough
Percy Jackson in your life. We only have 4 more episodes. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Only 4 more!
Yeah, we gotta get to... Where's Waterland? Colorado?
God.
Huh?
That's pretty far.
Where's Waterland supposed to be?
I don't know.
I have no recollection of where Waterland is.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know...
I just remember Vegas.
Okay, I was right.
Okay.
You're so smart. Right. You know this book better than us. You should do the podcast instead.
I mean, I guess sometimes. That's a thing that I do.
Ethan is a smart cookie. All right.
So speaking of which, where can the people find you?
Yeah, I'm really only on like Instagram and Threads, which is an Instagram derivative, at ethan.t.hulen. I'm not going to spell my last name because it's in the title of the episode, probably. So
yes.
So yeah, that's really it.
Amazing.
You got a plug?
Plug some media. What would you like the people to watch besides Percy
I don't
Jackson?
have a plug. Oh shit.
I'm gonna redo a plug.
I would love for people to so for people who like Pokemon like myself, I am playing a lot of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's DLC, the Indigo disc, which came out as of recording a few weeks ago.
I didn't know about that. That's fun.
Yep. So I've been playing a lot of that, because you can catch starters in the wild in that, Raye, from past Pokemon games.
All right.
So that's what I will plug for this.
Pokemans. We love some Pokemon.
Charlie, I really think you'd like it if you gave it the chance.
I feel like there's too much Pokemon content.
That's true. There are over 1,000 Pokemon. Content.
You need one, and then it's fine. It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
They're not wrong.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like some Pokemon fans would disagree with you, but I don't know.
I have opinions about all of them, but essentially they are all the same game.
Yeah, there's a few things mechanically that are different, but the skeleton is all the same.
TBH, you do not need to get all this Pokemon content. If you play one of the games and you enjoy it, that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I started doing the other day mentally, even though I don't know a lot about Pokemon, my brain was just like, I want to know what the Baldur's Gate characters, what their Pokemon teams would be.
That's such a you thing to do. That's so hilarious.
It really is.
Because I was just like, oh my god, Halson has Psyduck. Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
He needs ducks. He likes ducks.
He does love ducks. Yeah.
So my plug is unrelated to any of these things. But I'm just gonna plug my comfort show that I was rewatching because I didn't sleep very much the other night, and I was like, it's 4:30 a.m. I can't go to work yet. I'm just gonna watch One Day at a Time because I really like One Day at a Time. It brings me joy. It makes me happy. And then I cried at the first season finale. Man, so sometimes even rewatching stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, I can get emotional. even though I've seen this like 50 million times. Yeah.
That's valid.
I do enjoy a sitcom that actually has me care about characters. That shows that the characters actually care about each other. It's good shit.
It is good shit.
Raye, do you have anything? Have you thought about anything?
Yeah, Charlie, you have a better memory than I do. Have I plugged Slay the Princess yet on our podcast?
I think you have.
Okay, then that's fine. Then that seems like something I would have done, because I was like very into it for a little while.
See, the thing is, I usually write down our plugs when I'm editing the episodes, and you don't.
Yeah, I like
them
put
down.
them in my own note for like the episode editing, and then I don't put it in the doc, which I should do.
You should be putting things in the doc, Raye. That's what the doc is for.
Sorry. I got Spiritfarer for Christmas, and it is just as good as everyone always told you it is.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
It's really upsetting.
What is this?
Spiritfarer is, people compare it to farming sims a lot, like Stardew and Harvest Moon,
cool.
but it's not quite, because there isn't a, penalty for the day changing, so it doesn't work in quite the same way. It's more of a resource gathering game where
I've seen ads for this.
Yes, it's a very beautifully animated game, and the premise is that you have replaced Charon as the new farrier of spirits, but you only take them when they're ready to go. And so you're in this little ocean that's full of spirits, and you pick them up onto their boat when they want to come on your boat. And then you make a very nice environment for them where they want to hang out. And then you talk to them about their life and their problems. And then when they're ready to go, you take them to the gate. And then they, leave forever and ever. And it's so...
What if they don't want them to leave?
That sounds depressing.
I don't want them to leave.
That's the only way you progress the game. Yeah, they leave, which is why some people can't tolerate playing this game because it's so upsetting. But it is even just the regular dialogue. A man told me about his war trauma recently, and I was I burst into tears from this story from this dandy guy who likes sleeping around with women who aren't his wife all the time. But he's yeah, we're getting a big pot of spaghetti from this Italian mama in this place that we were staying, and then the guy who was on patrol came running back to get some spaghetti, and he stepped on a mine, and I was the one who came to him as he was bleeding out, and he said, "Oh, I can't believe I can't have nobody eat my share," and then he died in my arms, and that's why I always live life to the fullest, because it's about the little things. And I was crying, just
you're about to make Ethan cry.
Anyway.
They are. I don't like this.
Anyways,
I got off of Lexapro and now I'm feeling every emotion. Help me.
I'm so sorry. If I had to experience that, you guys do too.
Wow, thanks.
There was an old lady who had dementia. This game does not fuck around.
Okay, that hits home.
Moving on. Oh my god. I was not okay. Anyways.
I feel like I would cry very openly if I played that game.
I have been, and it's been good for me, so...
Okay.
Spiritfarer. It makes you cry.
That's the official plug.
Charlie, will you release us from this mortal coil? And I'll be ferried on a nice boat.
That seems very
That seems very appropriate for what was just happening.
Oh god, I'm Charon, I'm releasing you. Get out of my fucking cabin, because we're actually falling out of the arch, and oh my god, we're gonna hit the pavement. Oh, it's fine. We're going down
Thanks, Poseidon.
a little slide into the water. Yeah. Bye, Chimera. She's beautiful. I love her.
Bye.
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 Hello, listeners! Editing Charlie here with a patron shoutout. If y'all didn't know, our $10 and up patrons now get a shoutout on the pod. So now, I get to shout out our lovely, God Complex level patron Matt. Matt is so wonderful and has been a supporter since we started the OTAG Patreon. Thank you so much for all your support, bud.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast. Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like The Restricted Section, a chapter-by-chapter Harry Potter pod with lots of spoilers all the time.
Hey, what's up? My name's Christina, and I'm the host of The Restricted Section, which is a super pro-trans rights, Harry Potter slander, Harry Potter book club podcast in which all of those weird kids you went to high school with are still reading the damn thing, but now we don't like it as much. Come along with us as we break down this classic fantasy series and show you how it is actually extremely problematic, not only the author, but also the text itself. We should have known. We were so young and innocent. If only we could have trusted the adults who were writing the things that we put into our brain. But anyway, don't get me wrong, we enjoy Harry Potter, we have a good time. We're currently covering Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which is probably for the best because I don't really remember any of that book, despite the fact that I've read it probably 10 times. Come along with me into the world of Harry and take a intersectional feminist lens, a racial justice lens, a queer rights lens, all the lenses that the author probably wishes we wouldn't use to break down this book to figure out why we love it and why it's bad. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you get podcasts.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
We ready? We here? We queer?
We are here. We are queer, and I can't think of another rhyme off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
I was also trying.
We're peers?
No thoughts head empty.
Hey, there we go.
There it is. We did it.
We love that. We love that.
Alrighty.
Deus Ex Media.